Mr. Severson gave Papa a tree branch to use as a ridge pole for our house and two forked tree limbs from the river that would help hold the sod on our roof. A ridge pole, boys and girls, is that big log at the top of the roof where all the other logs are attached. He and Papa talked about how it would be done, and Mr. Severson said he'd come lend a hand. Papa said he would be obliged. Obliged. So if Mr. Severson is lending a hand, that means he's going to be coming to help. So let's see if we can inference and figure out what obliged means. He said that I'm going to read a little farther, see if that helps. He said that he had 3 strong helpers of his own too. I think it's saying that Papa would be grateful. He meant us, and he sounded so proud I felt we could do anything. Good neighbors, he told Mama as we rattled along. He and Rebecca and I walked beside the wagon because it was so heavy with the plow and the wood, and Mama's baby that was getting bigger inside of her. Will our house be just like theirs? Mama asked. Papa glanced at her sideways. He nodded. I'll get us a window and a canary too, he promised. Papa said the first thing we must do was to make slits in the ground and plant corn. That way, he would have food for us and the animals for the coming winter. Then we started on the well. We dug a long way down. It was days before we found the water. My gosh, we almost dug ourselves a hole into China, Papa boomed. To China? Truly? Rebecca asked. And Papa laughed and drew up a bucket of cloudy water. He let the specks of dirt in it settle so we could all have a drink. What does that mean? We almost dug ourselves a hole to China. Did they really dig to China, boys and girls? No. It's a figure of speech. It just means that they dug a long, deep hole and it took a long time. In the next week, we cleared the land of hidden rocks and turned the earth and planted the rest of the seed we'd brought from home. Don't you see, Papa asked Mama one night. I don't think he knew I was listening. I could never have made a life for us in Illinois. It would be good here. It was as if he was pleading with her, and I felt sorry for him, though I wasn't sure why. So Papa's still trying to convince Mama. When the house was up at last, Papa gave thanks for our snug soddy, for the baby that was to come, and for our safe journey. Mare's tail clouds waved in the sky, and the grass sang around us. I'd never seen Papa so happy or Mama so sad. Mare's tail clouds. That's another name for cirrus clouds, boys and girls. And the Latin word means a curly hook. I knew she missed our grandparents' house in Illinois where she'd lived all her life, where we'd lived too, until Papa decided to move west. That house had walls covered with pretty paper and a cupboard with painted china plates inside. Mama didn't say she was remembering that, but I knew. When we'd done our chores and finished our lessons, Rebecca and I always went to play outside. Don't get lost, Mama would whisper. We're only going to pet Moo, we'd tell her, or to pretend in our rock pile. We'd saved every rock from the field, and the pile could be anything. Our very own mountain, or a castle, or a fort. Sometimes we'd see her watching us from inside the door, and I'd think, Mama worries over nothing. It was true that the soddy did disappear, almost as you stepped away from it, turning into just another hump in the ground. It's like a prairie dog's burrow, Mama said. I bet prairie dogs like their burrows, I told her, and Papa smiled. That's my Zoe girl. Prairie dogs, boys and girls, are those kind of rodents that you see. They're still on the prairies out west. They dig burrows under the ground, and they throw the ground on top, so you can see their mound of soil that they've dug out and brought on top of the soil, and they run around on the prairie. Mama would stand for hours looking at the curve where grass and sky meet. Always nothing, she'd say, always the sameness. I was glad when she spoke, even to herself. It was her silence that scared me. Sometimes I'd felt she'd gone away and I couldn't find her. So Mama is, feeling lonely, maybe depressed a little bit, very sad. It was late summer now and scorching hot from red sunrise to red sunset. Our supplies were running low. Mama had a birthday and we used the last of the flour to make Johnny cakes. Johnny cakes? They were the best I'd ever tasted. What do you think Johnny cakes are, boys and girls? Kind of see the word cake there. Well, it was kind of flat, kind of like a pancake. And it was made probably with a cornmeal. One day, Papa said, Mama and I have talked things over. I must take the wagon into town and stock up. Zoe will come with me. Rebecca and Mama will come as far as the Seversons. They can have a nice visit there till we get back. But I want to go to town too, Rebecca screamed. It's not fair. I don't want to stay with those horrible Severson boys. Rebecca doesn't scream often, but not going to town was something to scream about. You will come next time, Papa promised her. It's too far and too hot for Mama to make the trip. Mrs. Severson understands about babies being born, and Mama will be safe there. Zoe is older and can be a help to me. You must be a help to Mama. There is no more to be said. See, she's feeling very sad and upset. I was very excited, but I tried not to show it because it would make Rebecca feel worse. It took a lot of preparation, but at last we were on our way with Moo tied behind us so she could be milked at the Seversons, and so she wouldn't be lonely while we were gone. Our neighbors were glad to see us again. They made a list of things they wanted us to bring back for them. And soon Papa and I were off, our water kegs refilled to the tip-top. Matthew, are you sure you can find your way back? Mama called, running heavily after the wagon. Can you mark your trail? With breadcrumbs? Papa asked, smiling. Try not to worry, Emma. We will be fine. He and I were both quiet, knowing she would worry anyway. At last, Papa said, there is a little extra money. We will get something pretty for Mama to mark her birthday. You can help me choose. He spoke some more about that, and to me it seemed he was like Mama, talking to himself, though I was there. The heat is bad. I pray, Emma, we can stand it. I pray Emma can stand it. When the baby comes, it will ease things for her, but there'll be hard times. And oh, I pray to God I've done right by her. I didn't dare look at him until I felt him straighten up. He smiled across at me. Oh, well, We will help each other, my Zoe, and we will help her. I promised myself I'd be good. I'd be the best girl in the world. I would never worry, Mama. Papa pointed. There it is, he said. The town was lifting itself, as if by magic, out of the distance. Small to begin with, growing bigger the closer we got.